Live
Trying to
stream meeting.
Yeah, so it's telling me on my end that it's being live streamed. Okay. It's live on YouTube now?
Not yet. Hold on.
That's what it's saying.
There it goes. Let me see.
The content of this meeting is
ground.
one or more.
Oh, hey Lee, it's on. It's live on YouTube.
It's on?
Yeah.
Not yet. Hold on. It's like an echo. Okay.
Lee, it's on.
I wish I could see. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second.
No, you don't have a second. You're on live.
All right, let me go. Hello, and welcome to Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist. I am Lee Hill, and I have the beautiful Dawn, celebrity stylist and makeup artist. What is you doing? What happened? Yeah, I'm talking. You couldn't hear me talking?
Yes, Lee.
I was in the middle of the introduction. You said, "Hey, Lee."
I can hear.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Woo, Lord. All right, look, we already got people on here. Let me allow this. Hold on, y'all. Y'all hear that? It's like it's going twice.
Lee, I just want to let you know you're live on YouTube.
I know.
I don't hear no echo or anything.
Okay, guys, can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Okay.
I can
it's
see
like
you
it's
and
recording. It's like I got two up. Y'all hear it? I'm so sorry. It's going twice. If you guys hear me on, I'm having some system issues. Give me 1 second, because it's like it's playing over and over again. I can't believe this.
I can see you, Lee. You can just start talking.
I don't see it. It looks like I have two things up. Somebody said breathe, sweetie. Can y'all hear me now? Everything is fine? It just feels like there's two meetings going on.
We heard you the first 2 minutes.
Thank you. All right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for that delay. So we have here a high value man that we're going to be asking some questions. Dawn and I, we're going to tag team and ask him some questions on what do high value men see as beauty for us as women. We have so many videos that that go up where we're discussing about the different issues that we have when it comes to hair extensions, lashes, skin, all those different things. So we decided to bring on our good friend, Mr. Jay Johnson, Jermaine Johnson, AKA $1 Million Man. You know, so we decided to go ahead and have him to come on and just talk about a few things. So we're going to start now. My first question to Mr. Johnson, or Jay, is what a lot of times we hear men say they like weave, they don't like weave, they like natural hair. They don't like a woman with a lot of makeup on. If you can, I know you can't speak for all men, but what do you guys consider beauty? If you could wrap that up.
So Lee, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a simple guy, right?
Right.
So I'm not into the thing of saying I love a woman with short hair. I love a woman with long hair. I'm saying I just love the fact that you look good, right?
Right.
I'm saying I don't mind a woman in choosing her hair, her hairstyle, short, long, shave, just as long as it's presentable. Um, Now, what I do have a problem with is it's the women with the lace fronts and the wigs and things like that. I don't think like a man should know that a woman is really wearing like a lace front or a wig. I've seen some expensive wigs where you couldn't even tell that it was a wig. Um, just be simple. You know what I'm saying? Be simple and beautiful. Not the long lashes, snuffleupagus. That's that's crazy. That's ridiculous. That is not beauty. I don't know who in the hell said that, but I'm telling you, that's not beauty. So for me, just be simple. You know what I'm saying? Make your own choices in your hairstyle, just as long as you're beautiful. That's all we look for. You know what, Lee? I also feel like Lee and Don, right? So I feel like this is just me. If a woman, I'm saying, if her top is not right, then her bottom is definitely not right.
Her top meaning the
The hairdo,
uh-huh.
and the bottom meaning, her her cat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying if you can't take if you can't take care of your hair on top, I don't think you can take care of the bottom. That's just me.
Wow. Okay. That's deep. Never really thought about it that way, but I guess that makes sense from a man's perspective. If you see a woman walking around and her head is not together, she doesn't take any pride in her crown, then the other part has no care as well. So I could see that point. My question to you is, dear sir, what is your opinion on young ladies or women that come outside or in the public wearing pajamas and, of course, hair bonnets?
The bonnet mafia. That's what we call them.
Not
Listen,
bonnet, yeah. Oh
the
my
bonnet
goodness.
mafia. Listen, it's a name for them. Ladies, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't have to know you. I don't care if I saw you one time in the airport. I do a lot of traveling. It's the most embarrassing thing for a black man to see black women with bonnets, with slippers, and pajamas in the airport. I see guys walking with these ladies, and ladies, trust me, he is embarrassed.
Oh my God.
At that point, he just tolerating you. I'm
Ooh.
telling you, that's the most embarrassing thing I've seen as a black man in the airport with women with bonnets and pajamas and slippers. In the grocery store, bonnets.
Mm.
In hospitals, bonnets. I'm like, come on, ladies, come on, ladies. So this the thing, right? I'm saying they teach us, right, as I'm talking about as a culture, right? I'm saying,
Hmm.
I'm saying when we know better, we do better.
We do better. Absolutely.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Growing up, I have never seen my mom, my
Mm.
grandma, any of my 10 aunts in bonnets. I've never seen that. I've never seen that ever in life. I don't know who the hell told y'all that's sexy, that's right. And then I found out under the bonnet, the hair is done. Like,
But wait a minute. But wait a minute. You know what though? Because you know we all grew up in 305, and I'm sure that's like that everywhere. Where they didn't come out with bonnets, but they had rollers in their hair. Remember that?
Lee,
We had scarf on.
Lee,
They had a scarf on.
That's true.
My grandma, and I'm born and raised in Miami, like all us, never came out in rollers. My mom never came out in rollers. My aunts, I've never seen that, Lee. Now, what Dawn said, now I've seen my aunt with rollers and a bandana over. Yeah, like a headscarf and cleaning the house. But when it was time to go out, no.
Yeah. And you know, Jay, you know what? Now, because Don and I was talking about this last week, how Don, you were talking about the fact that Kanye West baby, which is pretty, but she's a little girl, that she had a bonnet on. And all of a sudden they saying that's a fashion thing. I'm like, no. That's not a fashion thing. You know, and remember that's a kid, right? And then not only is that just a kid, it's also she can do that. She walking around the house or whatever, she can do that. That's cute, you know, with the little matching pajamas. But I saw grown women the other week, a couple of weeks ago, that had the bonnet that matched the pajamas. And I'm like, well, it's 3 o'clock. Why are we walking around in pajamas? And unfortunately, it is our culture, our women that are doing it.
Lee, I'm a girl dad, right? So I have 2 grown daughters, right? And I've, you know, I think I did, you know, a great job. But yeah, they already know. Don't come around me with no bonnet. Don't come around me with no craziness. Now listen, people, ladies and men, I ain't better than nobody else. I grew up in Liberty City, but like I said, when you know better, you do better.
You do better.
Right?
Absolutely.
We teach our kids better, right? But shit is going backwards. Yeah. I'm telling you. As a matter of fact, I'll be in the airport on Wednesday. I guarantee you, I'm gonna probably see about 10 women in bonnets and pajamas.
You can't make that stuff up.
You gotta do it.
But you know what? I know we saying when you know better, you do better. But you know, I gotta be the devil's advocate. A lot of us know better. I mean, Jay, I'm just being honest. I look in the comments when I'm doing the videos and stuff, and they be wanting to argue you down about that. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, listen, nobody is going to be looking at you saying, oh, this how I am now. Like I'm just running to the store and you know what I mean? But when I get ready, I get ready. It you know, like the first impression is one of the most important things, right?
Yep.
And so a lot of women, they do know better, but they choose not to do better. You know, you know what I mean? So that's like one point I did want to, you know, bring up because I look at the comments, I look at, you know, what the women are saying and they're trying to justify it. And it may seem like something really, really small. It's like, what's the big deal? But they don't know how much of an impact that it makes to their, you know, the people who, when they walk out the door, who they represent, you know, to the young girls that are looking at them, you know what I mean? And it's just like a vicious cycle of it because it's acceptable. Like it seems like they're accepting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, that shit is totally embarrassing. Even if I don't know you, you're a black woman. I don't care the age. I don't care. You are a black woman in public, in a public place, in the airport with a bonnet, pajamas, and slippers. Come on, man. Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do you think that a woman like that, that's dressed like that, right? Do you think that she cares about her appearance or she has a high self-esteem or she's chasing the bag or whatever the case may be?
So Lee, I'm gonna tell you, I have no idea, but I'm telling you at that point, she's not on my radar. You're done. I'm telling you, she's not on my radar. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care what she got going on. But at that point,
she's done. That's not even somebody, you know, even though I know you're a married man, but that's not even somebody that a single high value man would even look at. And to that, maybe it would be more just, would you even look at them sexually?
Lee, we look at all women sexually. That's the thing, right? And the first attraction is physical attraction, right? So right there in the physical with a bonnet and pajamas in bedroom,
dang.
Yeah.
Now, when you break it down like that, yeah.
And guess what?
What?
She might be the best person in the world out of that bonnet, which when she gets to wherever she's landing and putting on her clothes, she could be gorgeous, beautiful woman, great personality. But guess what? The first physical appearance from a man is like, God damn.
So another, Don, you want to talk about the lace fronts? You want to ask him?
I think the lace.
No, I'm laughing at Jay's expression as soon as I said lace front. He was looking like, here we go with this foolishness.
See, the lace fronts were intended, you know, that come from the Hollywood, you know, and then it's more so what you call a prosthetic piece. You know what I'm saying? For someone that suffers from alopecia. So if you suffer, if you are suffering from alopecia in your frontal area, yes, the lace front is something that you would consider, you know, as an application to help, you know, boost your self-esteem, your confidence. You know, no woman wants to walk around with a bald head by if she doesn't have to, right? So the lace front is, you know, it initially was, you know, from Hollywood. Of course, you know, once Hollywood and, you know, the regular folks get a hold of it, we tend to take it to the extreme. But we see the consequences of those people that are using a lace front, and there's no need for a lace front on it, because if you have a frontal hairline area, you don't need a lace front. You know, you could go on a traditional sew-in, you know. So why put your skin through and your hair? Why jeopardize the integrity of your hair? You know, doing that just for trend or just for a look. You know, a lot of times we jump on the trend, and this is what causes alopecia, because you just subject yourself to a total hair loss, because you know you're not gonna use the remover. We already know what we don't do, right? When we come to beauty maintenance, you know. So we just go for the look, the overall look of it, but we aren't even considering the integrity of our beauty.
Right.
You know.
So Don, hey, so I got a story, you know, to tell y'all. I think I told y'all this before, right? So it was way before the lace fronts were even popular with the common folk. Because I was telling Lee the other day, I said, damn, I remember the movie Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you know he had that long hair. So I'm thinking like, damn, he grew his hair for the movie, but not knowing back then it was a lace front, right? So I'm probably about 20. I'm in my 20s, right? So I'm on a date, right? I took this chick to the Chart House. I don't know if y'all remember the Chart House. Used to be in Fort
I remember that.
Right. So you know, yeah. So this girl, you know, I was like, damn, finally get the chance to take her out. So we do the boat taxi. We take the boat taxi to the Chart House. We get off. We having a nice time. So man, so we sitting down at the table, and so now I'm face to face with her now, and then you know, we having a conversation. Man, all of a sudden her whole fucking front just came up. So every time she was talking, right, that shit was just coming up. Let me tell you something. Number one, I was turned off. Sweetheart, you're done. You're done. but she didn't even know it, right? So listen, Lee. So the most embarrassing part, I was embarrassed for her, and she didn't even know, right? And I couldn't even tell her because she was really going into, this conversation, and we
Right.
talking, and she just kept asking me, why you looking at me like that? And finally, I had to tell her. I said, listen, like every time you talk, your whole front is coming up. I see the stocking cap. So I didn't even know that y'all even do that. Put stocking caps up under. Man, let me tell y'all something, man.
Was that a traumatic thing?
Yeah, I was done. And this a chick who I had been trying to take out for a minute. Finally
Oh, wow.
nailed it down, and man, that happened. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that shit traumatized me. Her whole front, every time she said a word, that shit just came up. She was like, yeah, so I'm like, so finally, man, I had to tell her, right? And it was embarrassing.
Not traumatized.
Yeah, I know, traumatized because
It's a
listen,
lot of men be traumatized by that thing.
listen, hey Don, I'm telling you, I'm saying, women say it all the time. It's hard being a woman. It's like a woman. It's hard being a woman. It's hard being beautiful and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As a man, I just want to see the beauty. I don't want to see what's behind it.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see like what it took for you to get to this point where I'm seeing you, right? Listen,
Right.
lady, another thing. I haven't seen this in a long time either, but tracks. Like, how women get and you see they track. Oh man, I can't. That's it for me. You're done. It's over for you. Listen, I'm glad my wife wears braids, like kind of like Dawn with her braids and shades, because she don't do the lace front, she don't do the bonnets, right? So if she do take the braids out, like Dawn say, she'll get that expensive weed. And I told you this story, Lee. She had some weed. That shit done lasted about 5 years. She done took it in and out. That shit was expensive. So that's when I started knowing, like, oh,
you knew the difference.
Yeah, this shit serious. Like, this
Absolutely.
ain't no 1B. This ain't no 1B Cacalon. This shit real deal. Like,
so 1B Cacalon.
Yeah, right. I said it right.
Yeah, you said it. You said it right. Yes, sir.
So then that's when I started saying, oh shit, like this market is big. So I'm looking at, so now I know better now, right? So now when I'm seeing women in public, right, with the lace front, and I see that little, them two bangs and then a little curl loop.
No, that's not bangs. That's baby hair. That's
let me tell you something.
Kids.
Listen. I done seen a lot of 55 and 60-year-old ladies with that with the curly bang and the hook on the side.
I'm not doing this.
You're done.
I'm not doing this. I forgot to let y'all. I'm sorry. No. I forgot to let y'all know. Put your seatbelt on, because Jay Johnson, he missed his other call in life. He should have been a comedian. But even though he's telling the story that way,
serious.
I know. I was just about to say, even though he's telling this story this way, and it is very comical, at the same time, he means what he's saying, ladies. So, and I'm not saying that all men feel this way, but I had to get somebody that was realistic, a real brother that's gonna be like, listen, this how it is, and this is a high value man. So I'm just like grateful that you're gracing our platform to be able to explain to them, because sometimes when Don and I are explaining things, it looks like as if we just like, oh God, like we're a little obnoxious. But hearing it from a man, they need to hear it. It's funny though.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Lee, because I always get that right. Okay. What's a high value man? Because I think I do take pride in myself. I get the manicures and the pedicures, and I'm gonna make sure I'm groomed well. But I just think for all men, right? Like we don't want to see that process, right? We don't want to see the process before, like, you get to the beauty. Like, how you get married, and the people say, you're supposed to see the bride before the wedding. Because 9 times out of 10 she fucked up at that point, right? She jacked up.
Right.
You might change your mind.
Right.
Right. So I'm telling you, right? So what it is that, guess what? You don't supposed to see her now, because guess what? She's not ready. Now, once she's ready, she walks out, everybody stands up, and everybody says how beautiful she is. That's what a man like want to see. Right?
The end result.
Yes. Listen, we always want to see our like, especially if a man chooses you to be his girl, right? Like, I don't want to see my girl in the airport and with no bonnet and no pajamas on. I don't want to see my daughter like that. Right? Listen, you don't know who you're gonna meet. Never know. You could be like me and leave everybody laugh at me, but all my friends know I got an airport outfit for every time I travel. I'm gonna be looking right and tight. Right? So I expect the woman who I'm with or whoever I'm traveling with, y'all got to be the same.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right? We got to be on the same page. Like,
everybody.
And now I see young dudes wearing bonnets, but you know what? That's another show.
That ain't no another show. What is they wearing bonnets for? Don't they have, where the wave cap at?
Lee.
Well, I'm glad that you pointed out something. You said a high value man. I that's a good point. To me, a lot of women say high value men, they got to be six figure. I joked with you. I said $1 million man, even though you are in that range or whatnot. But to me, a high value man is a man that fears God. Has standards, morals, well taken care of, as far as his mental, his aesthetics, like you talked about, making sure you look good, those different things like that, and just has a good name, if that makes sense. You got, have a good name. So it's a lot of things. That's a high value man. So a lot of high value men are not even men that are they don't have to make six figures to be a high value man. It just depends on, So I'm glad that you brought that out as far as like, what's it, what that is. That's the humble part about you that I like as a friend. The other thing I wanted to bring out was, Don, do you remember the time when lace fronts first came out and the women started shaving the front of their hair, the hairline? They was shaving it. They was shaving it, Jay, so that the lace front could lay flat. They was shaving it. And I was like,
just destroying their beauty.
Right. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And so that was the beginning for me. Y'all understand, like, I worked for Hair Club and we had to shave down the hair, when we were about to put a new head of hair on the head. So we had to shave the hair down. These women, their hair is growing out. What is it? Like, very scarce. There's not a lot of hair that's growing. So you got to shave it down so we can lay it down so it won't pull the scalp. It starts hurting and different things like that. Hey, Keisha. Oh, Keisha, you made it. So we, I saw it on that. The minute I saw it, when I came back, I'm not going to lie, because I was living in North Carolina for like 5 years. When I came back to Miami, and y'all, it's a whole different thing. I came back to Miami and I started seeing them shaving their head in the front, their hairline, because they want that thing to lay down flat. I said, it's like putting, you know what I'm saying, putting a gun in a baby's hand. I was like, oh my gosh, we're done. We're done. Like, they are going to destroy. And I just saw it over and over again, where it became a vicious cycle of women that it started out that way. Then they went to the extreme with it because they wanted it permanently on. And I'm like, hair, like Don was saying earlier, it was never meant for you to be having a lace front on for 2-3 months or whatever. I'm braiding my hair and put this wig on. It was never meant for that when it comes to lace fronts and different things like that. It was for women and men that were having some type of trauma to the hair, experiencing hair loss, permanent hair loss, young children that were experiencing permanent hair loss. And then you had, like Don was talking about a little earlier, the fact that it was based on if you were in movies. So like John Travolta, who was that? Bernie Mac, different people, they had systems because they did lose their hair. So they had those systems to make them look natural, right?
So Lee, so
Right.
hold on. So let me ask you a question. So with Steve Harvey, that was true?
Yeah, yeah, that definitely was true. The thing is too is that I used to work for Hair Club, and I used to be the one
No, I
that
remember that.
is in North Carolina. It's like on the borderline. So we saw different celebs come in there and whether it's for a hair transplant, if they had the donors in the back of their hair, or whether it's for systems. But I'm gonna tell you this: when it came to people, the industry, like Don was saying, the lace fronts, they have like I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's skin. So when they lay it down, you don't have to shave your hair off, because like when they shave it out off, but when they lay it down, it's clear, so it looks like it's coming right out of the scalp. Those things run you about a good 5K up, right? And they don't wear it for days.
So Lee, let me tell you this. So my mentor, right? So they had cash, and I think his wife was one of the first ones. So you talking about this was in the early like 2000, right? So one thing about Tasha, right? She'll show up with some blonde hair, right? And she'll wear it for a while. And I was intrigued because I knew it wasn't her real, the real thing.
Right.
But it was done so perfect. You couldn't even tell.
Right.
Right. So I didn't know what she had going on back then, but I just know she was pretty with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like I didn't know how much she paid for it, but I'm telling you right now, what's going on right now, we got to stop.
Yeah.
It's obvious
so
that they're wearing, it's obvious that they're wearing extensions, and extensions you're never supposed to tell that you're wearing extensions, even when you have braids in your hair. You should never see where the extensions, are in. That's why people are always saying, is that your hair? Right? Is that your hair? It looks so natural. So, when you wear extensions, the whole purpose of any beauty services is for you to you look as normal as possible, like as realistic as possible,
Hey, Don, I'm gonna be honest with you, Don and Lee, right? I'm saying I love a woman just with her, with the natural, right? With the natural hair. That's beautiful to me, right? Don't get me wrong. And the braids,
Go
with
ahead.
the braids and stuff, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get the extensions and all that. Yeah, I get that. But overall, if I see a woman with a natural hair, that's beauty. That's beauty to me.
Question now, when you say natural hair now, because we got some lazy people. Keisha, I'm gonna read your question, and I'm gonna ask Don to answer it right after this. But Jay, when you say natural hair, because I'm gonna tell you now, that's a whole nother thing too. Then you got the women that say, okay, I'm natural. They don't want to comb the hair. They looking for, oh God, now I gotta be natural. They don't think they're supposed to wash the hair or moisturize the hair. And I'm like, you think that going natural is like, okay, now I got my little afro, or I make my little textures, I put some color in it, and that's it. But no, you got to maintain that just like you would maintain if you had chemicals in your hair, or just if you had extensions in your hair. So even when you say we like natural, make sure you know.
No, Lee. Now we now we as men, we do know better, right?
Yeah,
I can tell
right.
when a woman is taking care of of the natural hair, right? That's what I'm talking about. When it's healthy, when it's natural, when it's like you could tell with whatever she's putting it like in it, and she's taking care of it, that's a beautiful thing. I think, man, we missing the I'm telling y'all, man, we as black people don't understand how strong we are as just on this earth, right? Whatever we do, everybody else they will follow.
That's right.
Right? They will definitely follow, from fashion to hair to everything. Right?
Lips,
so
everything.
So that's what I'm saying. I ain't knocking nobody for wearing the lace fronts and the wigs. Right. What I'm saying is just wear it right. Spend a little extra money and get it done right.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
You're doing an excellent job, my brother, my friend Jay Johnson. I love it, love it, love it. Let me read this question real quick. I see Keisha said, do either you or Don think that we as Black women will ever learn to embrace our natural beauty despite the history of our beauty in this country? Don, I'll get that one of you.
Yes, because I have.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
it. Simple. Just
Yep.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Yep. You have to own your beauty. Anyone else's version of you. You have to own your own beauty.
Right.
Yes. Your own beauty. Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
what that looks like, Keisha, is having your identity, because a lot of times I did a video on this before where a lot of times we'll see a trend that comes out and we like, oh, okay, let me go with this. You know what I mean? And when we were younger, we didn't have a lot of women to look up to when I was younger. I didn't see a lot of one of the most first beautiful, it was two women. The lady on Red Fox, I don't know if y'all remember on Fred Sanford. She was
Donna?
chocolate. No, not Donna. No, it was the one that was trying to get she was trying to get Lamont and she was cooking the food or whatever. And she said, oh baby. She was real feminine and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all remember her name, but she was beautiful, chocolate lady. And the other one was Jenny from Fred's from
the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons. And she had her hair looked like it was relaxed and had it roller set, and Helen.
Then what about Thelma?
Women. Oh Lord, Thelma. Thelma was another bad one. And Thelma was more natural too.
And she was natural. She had ponytail.
Yeah. So those were the women that we had examples, to look up to and say, oh, okay, I can look like that. But before that, and even after that, still as Black women, right, we still tend to want to go, mimic the other side. I don't want to say necessarily mimic the other side because we just like variety of things. But a lot of times we need to look within ourselves to find out what is beautiful about ourselves. And when we do that and we start building up our confidence and our self-esteem, eventually you're going to find what works for you. Because I would say for myself, I'm not in Miami, we got some beautiful women, right? All shapes and all these different things. But what I do when I'm looking for clothes or what I like as far as how I like my hair to look and different things like that, I look for the qualities that I like within myself. I tell myself, this is how I want to feel and how I want to look as a woman, right? And I think when we get to that place where we start building ourselves up and stop looking at others, it's okay to look at others. It's okay to compliment each other. But I think you first have to start within yourself. So that it always comes with, you're always going to hear me talk about that self-love. It's really, really important. So yes, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do. And, so what Dawn said when she said yes, and it was like, yes, like we was waiting on this long thing. And y'all was like, but it's just easy to do. It's accepting yourself. You know what I mean? It's accepting the qualities that you have within yourself, the things that you love about yourself, So those are things.
Hey, so I think as a man that comes, I have 3 sisters and I come from a big family of women, right? So I think we will get to the point, and I see us transitioning slowly, because you remember back in the days, we used to use the straighten comb. We don't do that no more. We found out it wasn't good, right? So we X that. So we was using the perm, right?
Right.
We found out the perm wasn't good, right? So we X that. So I think we're slowly starting to taking steps towards it. Like I love to see the women in those I think my wife said they're called sister locks.
Oh yeah, man.
I love that.
So pretty. Yes.
Yeah. So we're taking steps towards it though.
Right.
Like you can see it.
Now, this is a hard discussion, whether you believe it or not, Jay. this is the stuff that, like, sometimes I do videos and the men come on there and be like, these women, they ain't gonna listen to that, because it requires them to, you know, take a look at themselves. And sometimes it's hard to do as an individual. So a lot of times they're like, oh, they want to talk about this. We do what, you know, we want to do or whatever. Again, I like the fact of you explaining it, and you're not the only man that has expressed those things. If basically what you're really saying is, the minute that we start embracing our beauty, whatever it is, whatever that natural meaning, it doesn't necessarily mean you got to walk around with an afro. He's saying like just naturally comfortable within your own skin, walking in, like, you know how it is when you see that woman that's just, when she come in the room, she just shift the room, right?
Shift the room.
She shift the room. What does that look like? Can you explain that?
Oh man, Lee. As a matter of, you know what, I can't say. So Lee, so you know my crush is Nicole Murphy.
Child,
Right?
please. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. But I've seen women in person, because I love chocolate women, right?
Okay.
So when I see like a woman and shift the whole room,
Mm-hmm.
it starts from the top all the way to the bottom. I'm talking about from the hairdo to the makeup to the outfit to the walk to the confidence down to the shoes.
Y'all heard that? I mean,
Right?
just simple, just like that. Yeah.
It's just that simple. She ain't got on the snuffleupagus. She ain't got on the lace front. She ain't got to have on the Daisy Dukes. Let me tell y'all something, ladies. Y'all could be real sexy without being and revealing,
Yeah.
right? Now, don't get me wrong. We love to see it, right? But let me tell you something. It's even better when we don't see it, but we do see it. If that makes sense.
Right. You don't see it, but you do see it.
You do see it.
So, when you see, yeah, so y'all like it. I've heard.
Yeah, no. Listen. Like, okay, so all right, so let's put it in perspective, right? So we could meet this girl in a halter top and Daisy Dukes, right? We gonna jump on her, right? We gonna meet her, we gonna talk to her. But then once we decide to make her our lady, our wives, yeah, that shit out the window. Right? Now, guess what? You can still dress sexy, but you don't have to be revealing.
Right.
Right? We see it all the time. Right? Remember the video that we was talking about with Jay-Z. What's your name? And the girl on the elevator.
Yeah.
Man, that girl was wearing that
Bad.
dress.
Yeah.
She was wearing the hell out of that dress. Right? Sexy, but classy.
Right.
See, I found out a long time ago that women, y'all could dress real sexy for less, but y'all shoes got to be on point with the accessories, right? Men, we can't come out looking cheap and trying to dress it up. You understand what I'm saying? But women, man, y'all got a lot of options. Y'all could do a lot of stuff to just to really like shift a room. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women think like having your ass out, this and that ain't gonna shift no room. Now they're gonna be looking at you, but you ain't shifting no room, right? It's gonna take that classy woman to walk in, and then you'll be like, okay, I see what he's talking about.
Yes, sir. I like the way you express that. Let me read a little bit more. Keisha says, I had a lady in the dollar store and told me that I didn't need to go to my dermatologist to get shots to regrow my edges. What? I can buy some edges from Amazon. I'm not dumb. I almost fell out the register. You say, but you know what I mean? Listen, I think you wasn't here last week when I talked about that. They got the edges. I said, we're not even gonna try to grow our hair back, because if you can make it that convenient and you give up on yourself because you don't believe that you're going to be, you done gave up and say, hey, my hair not growing back. That is what you're going to do. So you're gonna, it's more convenient, it's more fast. The thing is too, Jay said something. He said that spend a little bit of money. And Don and I had did this video a couple of weeks, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Don, I don't know, about your hair talks about, shows your economic status, like where you lay it, where you are at as far as economically, right? Now,
Right.
so you have somebody that's sitting, a man that's sitting here across saying, spend a little more. They can, that mean that what he's saying is he can tell it's cheap. If he can see your, he's saying, if I can see your tracks and everything, that's either you did your hair or the kitchen stylist who don't know nothing about whatever. So you went to her because she charged $25 for a whole sew-in. You know, so here again, you think that, and this is the thing I want you guys to see. Keisha just said, the lady said, all you gotta do is buy edges. So you can go to Amazon, buy edges. So all you gotta do is buy edges. Then, oh girl, all you gotta do is, that's how much the glue is. Girl, I know such and such, girl, they hair is just such and such. If you tally up all the stuff you gotta keep buying, because now your hair is, you don't lost your edges or whatever. If you tally up all the money that you have spent from the products to the different things, because you still trying to find an easy way not to spend, you done spent more than you probably should have been spending. And guess what? And you lost your hair. Instead of saying, you know what, I really want to rock this thing or whatever, I need to go to somebody that knows about hair, that is educated, that gets continuing education, all these different things, and has her, like, I'd rather go to that and pay a little bit more than to go to Kiki around the corner who don't know Shine from Chalet.
Excuse me. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So you telling me they selling edges now?
You heard the young lady just said, the lady said you can buy it off of Amazon. Yeah, those things that you see that you said they was bangs, those are not bangs. You don't remember. Now, Jay, no, we grew up in Miami, y'all.
No,
and that's anywhere.
I'm learning something new.
Yeah, remember when you had that girl that had the pretty hair and she would make that baby hair swirl in the front? Yeah. That's what they're trying to get, but it's so much of it because because they've already lost their hair. It's so much of it.
Hold on. So let me ask you, what are these edges made of?
Listen here, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
They need to know that you're still destroying your beauty because you're using that adhesive and it's going on your skin. So now you're destroying your skin. You've already destroyed your hair, right? You already destroyed your hairline area. So now you're going to go in and destroy your skin by applying this adhesive on your skin so you could appear to have some edges, which all you have to do is preserve and protect your beauty from the start, right? From the start.
Right.
Okay. So this is so many people are making money of Black women destroying their beauty. Okay. So now, okay, this is for the young lady that she's not going to listen. She's not going to take the steps or take the necessary treatments or whatever, preserve her beauty. So let's focus on selling her or producing these edges because she's going to need it. Because after she destroys her hairline with this front and the glue adhesive, let's focus on the next set of the next $1 million idea of what to sell the Black woman because she's destroying her beauty. So all these things are designed and made to sell back to us after we destroyed our beauty. Don't nobody give a shit. Excuse me, but the manufacturers they've already making millions. The beauty industry is $1 trillion industry. It's $1 trillion industry. So it's so many people that are profiting off the loss and the destruction of your beauty. You're the only one that's not benefit from it.
Don, Real quick,
Don,
real quick.
go
Think
ahead.
about the fact that they were selling us shampoos with parabens, right? And sulfate for years.
Right.
They didn't care. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. You think they care now? Now they say, oh, no more parabens and no more sulfate. But why was you doing that from the get? They don't even care what they put in it. Because guess what? We're going to rush out and we're going to buy it.
So
I just want to add that.
So do y'all think now that it's a lot of that old stuff is leading to cancer now, right? It's linking it to cancer. Do you think that our Black women will like wake up and say, listen, we ain't doing this chemical thing. Let's just
I think
find another way.
Yeah, I think now the naturals came in. You know, that you have that segment or that era or that percentage of women that said, no, I'm not putting any chemicals in my hair. So that's where we came with this natural movement. But you had a lot of hairstylists that they didn't know anything about natural hair. They didn't know how to style it, what to do with it, what type of what products to use, so everyone was just ignorant about this natural hair because we've been relaxing the hair for so long. So now and it's not the relaxer, it's the improper use of the relaxer.
Right.
It's the improper use of the straightening comb. You know that straightening comb, you're supposed to touch the person's skin, but what to say? It's impossible for you not to be burned with a straightening comb. It's just, I have to get all the curls. You're gonna be burned by the straightening comb.
Right.
So it put fear and it traumatized a lot of. So it was like, okay, so I want to do the straightening comb. Let's go move on to the relaxer, right? That now the relaxer, we sit and watch the person apply the relaxer. The relaxer was never supposed to touch the scalp. It tells you that in the box. It tells you about all the stuff that you need to do to protect your hair before you put the relaxer in. It tells you about the timing, that the relaxer is no place on this God green's earth that it tells you that the relaxer is supposed to sit on hair over 20 minutes. But it took 20 minutes to apply the relaxer. Then you go start another relaxer and you haven't even rinsed this relaxer out on the client. So it's the misuse of relaxers that caused all this damage. They put the relaxer on and they send the baby down the street. How many times we done seen kids running around in the on the street with relaxers in their hair? The mama sent to the stove. I forgot I ain't have no shampoo. Send the baby to the stove with the relaxer on her head to go get the shampoo. That's why these kids don't have no hair.
Because they want it bone straight, which that's not.
Exactly.
They want that bone straight.
So we've destroyed every single thing. So now we come with the lace front because it came with the quick weave, right? We know what the quick weave doing with the paper, the stocking cap. You got the stocking cap, then the paper, then the bonding glue, right? Yes, that's 3 layers of suffocation. Of course, I'm not gonna have it. Right? That's what happens when you suffer. You suffocate the plant, right? You can't suffocate the scalp like that. Of course, it's gonna fall out.
Hey, Don, let me ask you a question, right? So when you say it's suffocating the hair, that's why, like, from time to time, you'll see women, they be doing that.
That's a dirty scalp.
Oh,
when you see them, when you see them on this right here, the scalp is dirty. It's bacteria on the scalp. What happens is it's very here in South Florida. So you're gonna perspire on your scalp. So when the sweat dries, you have salt residues that's left on the scalp. Salt is a drying agent, so you're gonna scratch. You're gonna irritate. So what happens is when they go in and start adding, right? That's that bacteria that's dancing on the scalp. Okay, it needs some water and it needs some shampoo. It needs to be cleansed. So when you see them going like this, the scalp is dirty and needs to be cleansed.
So I can tell them that. So I can tell them that, right?
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Yes, you can.
Don, don't give that man permission.
You can.
Yeah. The other thing that Don didn't mention with the quick weaves, Jay, they put you ever seen when a pixie cut, they have paper, when they wrap, they foam and put the
The
stuff on the
satin
hair.
strip,
Yeah.
the satin strip that we use on the neck for the
Right.
For the barbers.
Yeah.
Right. They take that satin strip and put it around the hairline area, which that's paper. You're smothering you're suffocating the follicle. The scalp needs to breathe in order to grow. So now you go in and you put the paper on there, then you put the stocking cap on top of there, and then you go in and put the bonding glue on top of there. It makes no sense. It's it's just
that's
the
where that
apple
pack
that's
goes.
but that unlicensed cosmetologist, the cosmetology drought, that said, oh girl, I know how to that. They can sit and they can lay tracks all day, some chicken wing. They could, they have to go through about 4 or 5 movies, while they're putting on this lace front. And the end result is, it's gonna last as a helmet. That's what you're doing. You're layering a helmet that they want it to last, what, 6 months. They leave this hair, this quick weave in for God knows how long,
Like it's a sew-in.
and then it's gonna need hair afterwards.
Right. So I wanted to break that down too. Like when Jay asked, that's the other reason why they got the pack, because they can't even get to it. So they got to find like something pointy to scratch and dig into the hair follicle. So that's the other thing too. I'm like, it's not worth it. So I did a video saying, why they never show you the takedown process? It ain't get a lot of what's called, they can't show, if they show you the takedown process, you would never go in and be doing and do those type of hairstyles where the quick weave, where you put paper and everything. Because when you do the takedown, now let us see your scalp now. So they'll show on social media and different places, hey, look at her hair. It was in this condition. And watch this. So they got color in their hair. They had all dried out, looking trashy. They wash the hair. They put the treatment on it. Then they show you, look, I scraped her scalp, and the scalp looked good. Then they braid it down and they put the weave. They do the system that Dawn just talked about. But and then you see the outcome, like, oh my gosh, and you see thousands of comments, girl, where are you at? I got to come there. But I thought to myself, I was looking at a video and I said, why they never ask, well, let us see it when it take down. How you gonna take that down? Because you done glued it on to, okay, you done gelled it back, you done glued it on to the paper, and that paper, the glue done seep through the paper onto the hair. Why you don't show us that? Why you don't show us once you take all of that down, once you get it down, because you're gonna be able to get it down. Why don't you show us what the scalp looks like after 2 months of a quick weave? I would love for a cosmetologist, hairstylist, whatever y'all want to call, to show us that, because that would be, you wouldn't be able to deny it. You'd be like, you know what, I'm good on that. Let me figure something else out. But they're never going to show you that. So again, we're caught up with, it's just like y'all ever see somebody that's been married for a certain amount of years and they done went through some stuff in the marriage, but they made it through, and everybody's seeing a manifestation like, oh my God, relationship goals. And I'm like, or somebody with a business and their business takes off and they're like, oh, I want that. That's the manifestation. But you didn't see, like Jay talked about earlier, behind the scenes of what they had to go through, you know what I mean, to get to that point. I think that's, for me, I've always been a person, I always wanted to see, well, how did they get to that? And what was the end result of it? We get hyped because it's instant gratification. It's called a quick weave, but you're sitting in there for hours. And we only like the manifestation. We don't want to talk about what's going to happen once everything is done. And that's a big thing. I don't think we see our scalp as being a part of our skin or our skin health. That's really good. That's true, Keisha. Don, you can finish that up because we are at 8 p.m., but you can finish that up.
Take care of yourself, take care of your scalp. You want to preserve your beauty as much as possible.
I want to thank, out of all the lives I have done, this is one of the best ones. that I have done. I'm so, again, my friend Jay Johnson, Jermaine, thank you so much for like gracing the platform and being able to talk to the women so they can see on that side that we're not just talking about this thing, that but men really feel that way, you know, about you, and how they look at you when you walking out the door is so important. They can tell, you can tell somebody that's dealing with low self-esteem, no identity. It's a lot of things that go on with us. And ask a licensed cosmetologist and ask the beauty expert. That's the reason why we do these videos, so we can make an impact and give you the information to help you change that. And it's one day at a time. So this is one of my favorite videos, and I pray that you guys like and share and subscribe this video. And thank you again for just, you know, tuning in. Anybody else have anything else to say before we close out?
Nah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was real good. Y'all ladies, y'all know what y'all talking about. I can say that. So.
Oh, and we were on Zoom today because we can't do it with it's 3 people. So we'll be tuning back in next week on our regular.
I mean, that's not the reason why you did it to Zoom. You know, eighth wonder of the world. You know, I came and you know.
Yeah, where the end button at? Where the end button at? You can't. Nah, but the 8th wonder of the world. Dawn came in as normal with her professionalism, her education. Absolutely love you, Dawn. You're so humble. You got so many talents and gifts. And I'm just grateful that even you every Sunday come and grace and educate the women here so they can understand the value that they have within, and that they have to embrace their natural beauty. And that's it, y'all. So we love you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist. Bye, everyone.
Peace.